Hey HVAC pros, ever walk into a basement, take one look at the ductwork and thought, this system was doomed from day one? I remember this one callback that still haunts me. It's a brand new top-of-the-line system that performed like a 20-year-old clunker. Why? 5 critical duct design mistakes that I'm about to share with you that could have prevented that disaster and saved my reputation with that customer. What's up, everyone? After over 20 years in the field, from carrying tools as a teenager to teaching ACA classes, I've seen these mistakes cost companies thousands in callbacks, destroy customer relationships, and crush profit margins. But here's the good news. I'm breaking down not just the problems, but the solutions that separate true pros from part changers. In the next 8 minutes, we're covering the 5 duct design disasters that are probably happening in your market right now. And more importantly, how to turn these common failures into your competitive advantage. Let's dive in. First, manual J without manual D. It's the silent killer. Picture this. You've done a perfect manual J calculation, selected the equipment perfectly, but the system still underperforms. Why? Because you're trying to serve a 5-course meal through a coffee straw. Here's a reality check. What nobody talks about in those equipment training classes, the manual J and S tells us how much air you need to move, but manual D tells you how you actually move it. I saw someone learn this the hard way on a 4,200 square foot custom home not too long ago. The load calc was flawless, 4.2 tons, properly sized equipment, premium efficiency ratings. But 6 months later, they're getting calls about hot spots, high utility bills, and that dreaded phrase, it never seemed to reach temperature. When they finally pulled out a manometer and started measuring static pressure, the truth hit them like a brick. The system was running at 1.2 inches of water column, more than double what it should be. Why? Because while they calculated the load perfectly, they let the installer use existing ductwork that was sized for a completely different airflow profile. Manual D isn't just fancy paperwork. It's your insurance policy against callbacks. It tells you exactly what size ducts you need, where to place them, and how to balance the system for optimal performance. Here's my systematic approach. For every manual J load calculation, I now at least complete a simplified manual D analysis focusing on the critical factors: equivalent length calculations for fittings, available static pressure, and with the new friction rate, verify proper trunk sizing. This adds maybe 20 minutes to my process, but could eliminate as much as 90% of the airflow related callbacks. Think about the business impact. That expensive lesson taught them something crucial. Customers don't care how perfectly you size the equipment if their comfort problems persist. Manual D ensures your perfectly calculated system actually delivers the performance you promised. I always like to say, prove it. Let's talk about why inadequate return air is killing your systems and your reputation. It's an invisible problem. Return air is the Rodney Dangerfield of HVAC. It gets no respect. But here's the brutal truth. If you can't get your air back to your equipment, you can't condition it and redistribute it effectively. It's like trying to empty a swimming pool while the drain's half blocked. I'll never forget this colonial in an upscale neighborhood. The original builder installed what we'll call a gorgeous 5-ton system with all the premium features. Single 20 by 20 return grill for 3,800 square feet. The homeowner complained about uneven temperatures, high energy bills, and equipment that ran constantly. Previous contractors had diagnosed everything from refrigerant leaks to control board failures. Nobody measured return air velocity. When I finally did, I found air moving at over 1,000 feet per minute through that single return, and it sounded like a jet engine. Proper return air velocity should be 300 to 500 feet per minute maximum at the register, and just 5 to 700 feet per minute in the duct. Anything higher creates noise, increases static pressure, and starves your equipment. So instead of just identifying the problem, I showed the customer exactly why their expensive system couldn't perform. We added 3 additional return grills strategically placed for proper air circulation. Total cost at the time was about $1,800. But the result? Immediate comfort improvement and a customer who referred a few neighbors over the next year. You wouldn't believe it. The same builder used the same subcontractor to hack in the same returns in their homes too. All right, here's a quick field tip. Use a tissue test. If a tissue paper gets sucked against a return grill and it stays there, I'm willing to bet your velocity is probably too high. But the professional approach, carry a velometer and measure actual CFM at the return. Let's talk about next the lazy snake installation and why flex duct fails. I'm sure everyone here watching this has seen the lazy snake installation. It's costing your customers 60% of their airflow and costing you repeat business. Most fall into what I call the flexibility trap. Flex duct is called flexible for a reason. It can bend, twist, and compress. But just because it can doesn't mean it should. I see installations that look like they were done by someone who'd never heard of physics. Here's something that'll shock you. Every 90-degree turn in flex duct reduces airflow by about 25%. A crushed section can reduce capacity by 50% or more. So that 8-inch flex duct that's supposed to carry 200 CFM, after 2 sharp turns in a crushed section, you're lucky to get 75 CFM. Okay, my flex duct installation rules are non-negotiable. First, maximum 10-foot runs without support. Also, gentle radius turns, never sharp bends. Fully extended ducts at all times, no compression. Proper connections with mechanical fasteners and mastic seal. And you want to support every 4 feet to prevent any sagging. I used to take before and after photos of every flex duct installation. When customers see the difference between lazy snake installs and professional work, they understood why proper installation costs more. And these photos become powerful sales tools for future jobs. Proper flex duct installs add maybe as much as 30 minutes per run, but eliminates comfort complaints and efficiency losses. That investment in installation quality pays dividends in customer satisfaction and referral business. Let's talk about static pressure, what I call the invisible enemy. Think of static pressure like blood pressure for your HVAC system. Too high and something's gonna fail. Here's how to spot it before it becomes a problem, and more importantly, how to explain it to customers in a way that positions you as the expert. Static pressure problems don't announce themselves with loud noises and obvious failures. They just slowly strangle your system's performance while driving up energy costs and reducing equipment life. Most contractors never measure it, which means they're flying blind. I measure total external static pressure on every service call and sales appointment. Normal residential systems should run below 0.5 inches of water column. When I find systems at 0.8 or higher, remember that's my opening to discuss system optimization. But instead of saying your static pressure is too high, I explain it this way. Your system is working like someone's trying to run a marathon while breathing through a cocktail straw. All that expensive equipment upstairs can't do its job because it's fighting the distribution system every step of the way. High static pressure gives me multiple opportunities to add value. Duct upgrades, filter upgrades, or even complete duct renovations. Each solution addresses a specific component of the pressure problem while improving overall system performance. Let's talk about a zoning system gone wrong. That's probably the golden opportunity. Everyone wants zoning these days. But here's the brutal truth. Most systems aren't designed for it from the ground up. Let me show you how to turn this challenge into the golden opportunity. Adding zoning to an existing system is like trying to convert a highway into a neighborhood street system. You need proper bypass dampers, static pressure controls, and often complete duct modifications. If you skip these fundamentals, then you're creating more problems than you're solving. Proper zoning requires understanding minimum airflow requirements, bypass calculations, and static pressure management. When zone dampers close, where does that air go? Most retrofit installations ignore this critical question. Here's how I approach zoning projects. First, complete airflow analysis of the existing system. Next, design proper bypass strategy or variable speed equipment integration. Third, calculate static pressure implications for each zone configuration. And finally, specify appropriate controls and damper sizing. Instead of selling zoning as an add-on, I present it as a complete comfort solution. For instance, Mr. Johnson, zoning isn't just about dampers and thermostats. It's about redesigning your system's airflow distribution to match how you actually use your home. This positions the project as an engineering consultation, not just equipment installation. Here's what separates successful contractors from struggling ones. Technical competence translates directly into business confidence. When you understand these duct design principles, you're not just avoiding mistakes, you're creating opportunities. Here's your competitive advantage. While your competition is quoting equipment replacements, you're diagnosing system performance. While they're making visual assessments, you're providing measured analysis. This technical depth allows you to command premium pricing because you're solving problems others can't identify. Technical expertise builds trust faster than any sales technique. When you can explain exactly why their system underperforms and show specific solutions, customers stop seeing you as a vendor and start treating you as a consultant. Okay, listen up. These aren't just technical tips. This is about transforming your business from just another contractor to the go-to expert in your market. Remember, you're just not selling equipment, you're selling comfort, efficiency, and peace of mind. Here's a quick recap of what we covered. Why Manual D is non-negotiable for system performance. The return air revolution your business needs. Flex duct installs that sets you apart. Static pressure secrets that save systems. And zoning done right from day one. Now it's your turn. Drop your worst duct design horror story in the comments below. And if this video helped you spot even one potential problem on your next job, hit that subscribe button and notification bell. Stay professional, stay profitable, and I'll see you on the next one.